The Democrats have this bat signal that goes out, like, here's the new talking point. So after saying that Joe Biden was perfectly fine and his age didn't matter at all, and he runs circles around them at the White House, now all of a sudden this memo basically goes out that says Trump is now the oldest nominee in history. And it's so incredibly ridiculous because they actually seem to believe that cutesy ridiculousness like that might work. I don't think it's going to work.
That's right. It is ridiculous to talk about Trump's age now, according to Fox News. Dana Perino, who you just saw, made the argument on the 5 yesterday that cutesy arguments over Trump being the oldest nominee for president won't work. While concerns over Joe Biden's age overshadowed the race until this weekend, polling found that 38% of Americans were very or somewhat concerned about Trump's age. Here's a poll from Gallup conducted earlier in June. You can see that 18% were very concerned about Trump's age and 20% were somewhat concerned. And of course, this is in contrast with Biden. But now with Biden out of the race, we're seeing polling shift on Trump's age. This is from a Reuters poll released today. At 78 years old, is Donald Trump too old to work in the government? 53% of people felt so, while only 43% disagreed. So you're seeing a shift. And you can also see the numbers for Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is mentally sharp and able to deal with challenges. 56, a majority agreed with that sentiment. Now, Trump is already trying to dispel the narrative that he is too old and his age will impact him. He wrote on Truth Social, "Lion Kamala Harris, the Biden-appointed border czar who never visited the border and whose incompetence gave us the worst and most dangerous border anywhere in the world, has absolutely terrible poll numbers," he misspelled that, not us, "against a fine and brilliant young man named Donald J. Trump." But in 2022, Perino was already spinning for Trump about his age. You could see here in this coverage, she said that Trump just ages at a different rate than Biden, and we have more. During a Fox News segment on the 2024 race, Perino noted that former White House Secretary Jen Psaki had recently pointed out that Trump is 76. This was 2 years ago, while Biden is 79. But Perino said that Trump's age might not be a hindrance like it would be for Biden. I don't know. Everybody ages at a different rate, the Fox News host told Kellyanne Conway. So we can maybe set that aside. Cenk, you're watching as these polling numbers and people's opinions are shifting at almost an hourly rate. Do you think that Trump's age will be a major factor in the election?
Thanks for watching. Our audience has helped build TYT into the media giant it is today. Together, we can accomplish anything. Support our work and join us at tyt.com/team.
First, I want to comment on the hilarious things that Dana Perino just said. She said, they just get the bat signal and they all do the same talking points. Oh, golly gee, I've never seen that on Fox News. I've never seen that with Republican politicians. Okay, so even before the Daily Show was doing it, because remember, we've been around 22 years, our legendary producer at the time, J.R. Jackson, now he has his own show on Watch List. You should check that out on YouTube. J.R. would put what he called these J.R. rated videos of one Republican after another saying the same exact things. So both sides have these talking points that they pound home. It's super annoying. That's why they all look fake and they look like robots, which they kind of largely are. They're corporate robots. Secondly, she said, this cutesy ridiculousness about age. What have you guys been talking about for the last couple of months? For the last year, for the last couple of years? Cutesy, like you were talking about Biden's age. All of a sudden, when we're talking about it in regards to Trump, they're like, no, that's an illegitimate topic. It's ridiculous to talk about that. Come on. Now, we were honest, you saw us be honest and say that Joe Biden's way too old and he shouldn't be in the race. So is Donald Trump way too old? No, he wasn't in the shape that Joe Biden was in. And he does look like he's more energetic than Joe Biden, right? I understand that. And so Bernie's older than both of them and he still looks great and he's still energetic. I understand all of that. Having said that, the real problem with Donald Trump isn't really his age, it's his sanity. he says crazy stuff all the time. And look, when Biden was trying to defend himself on the fact that he was too old, he kept making mistakes. He's like, what, I'm great. That's why I'm here with Vice President Trump and Vladimir Putin. And we were like, oh brother, come, you gotta go, you're too old. Trump here, and he does it all the time, but he did it in this message too. He's like, I'm so young and great and my mind is super sharp. That's why my poll numbers are great. And you misspell poll. So look, it's the misspelling's not that big a deal if you do it and you're not in professional politics or whatever. But this brother misspells half the words he has. If you're trying to prove to us that your brain is working, you might want to take a second to edit whatever post you're gonna put up, or have a second person look at it. No, he's too crazy. It's 3 in the morning, and he's like, oh, they're wrong, they're crazy. Blah, blah, blah. You look, come on, you tell me. Anybody seen Donald Trump and not think he looks crazy? We're doing a whole thing on Trump Madness, where we're going to ask you guys to do like March Madness, 64 different crazy things that Donald Trump has said. Which one's the worst? It's at TrumpBrackets.com. We've already had like hundreds of nominations. So please spare me about what a great mental giant Donald Trump is. Of course we're allowed to talk about his age. You guys just spent years talking about Biden's age. Now all of a sudden it's out of bounds? Get out of here. And then finally, if you're a Democrat, and you heard us saying that, hey, the Democratic Party would be so much better off if Biden wasn't in the race. Now all of a sudden, instead of age being a big problem for the Democrats, it's a problem for the Republicans. And now Kamala Harris looks young and dynamic, especially compared to Donald Trump. And Kamala Harris is a former prosecutor and can make a case, and she's been good on the campaign trail now. Whereas Donald Trump looks like a mess, no matter what age he is. So I think the Democratic Party has got to be breathing a huge sigh of relief. Now instantly way better off, and the Republicans now playing defense on age.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a good opportunity for the Harris campaign to highlight that contrast. Every little slip up, they will likely amplify, just like Republicans have done to Biden for the last few years. So this is a really funny dynamic to watch the tables turn almost overnight. And we're seeing it reflected in polling. We'll see just how consistent that is as time goes on. But apparently, Trump has tentatively agreed to debate Harris. And I think one thing that people missed, because Biden's debate was so bad and ultimately just killed his campaign, Trump's debate performance was also very bad. He dodged every question. He meandered, he rambled. He didn't make a lot of sense other than just bringing everything back to immigration. That's going to be highlighted when you have somebody who can stay on message, who can quickly and nimbly respond to things that he says. And with this hyper scrutinization on his performance, on things that he says, and on things that he posts, these little things are going to be amplified. For instance, just misspelling poll numbers, POLE, little things like that are going to have a way bigger impact now versus Harris than they would have when juxtaposed with Joe Biden.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can't wait for the next debate because Donald Trump is so easy to beat in a debate. So first of all, he's gonna say maniacal things. All you have to do is counter. Jesus, Joe Biden couldn't even counter. He couldn't even talk. So I think people are gonna be shocked at the next debate. And second of all, it's very easy to goad Trump into saying totally maniacal things. And again, Biden couldn't begin to muster up that kind of energy to do it. Kamala Harris should be able to do it. Jesus, this is a completely new day now that Biden's out of the race. And what did we tell you guys? We said we'd go from no chance of winning to being the favorites. And here we are, the favorites. And Fox News is already panicking. So good day in America. All right, stay right here because for the members, we're gonna do Operation Joy. Some great stories about how people found joy. We're gonna find a little joy in a political story as well. In fact, 2 political stories, including celebrating, hey, we did it. We got a new candidate. So all of that for the members, hit the join button below and we'll see you there. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.